So today
we're reviewing Jurassic World
Rebirth.
So we saw Jurassic World, the new Jurassic World movie yesterday, and you probably saw our pre-movie review. It wasn't really clear what we thought about the movie, but we have my mom and dad joining us today for this review on 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. This probably isn't coming out on the 4th of July. But, Mom, do you want to start out with your initial thoughts real quick about the movie?
It was enjoyable. I don't see a lot of movies, so I enjoyed it. It kept my interest. I thought there was action. I liked seeing the dinosaurs. It was fun seeing it in the theater. So, yeah, I enjoyed it.
My initial thoughts, it was good. This is the seventh of the series. Seventh movie. I think the whole series has been good. Obviously, from the start, they were great. These are good. They did a good job of continuing them. Little 4th of July firework there. But again, it was just good. I thought it did go back to, some of the beginning. There were some scenes, but it was good and entertaining, like Karen said.
Jake, what were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, my initial thoughts were, I've seen this movie twice now, and I would say there was definitely things about it that I enjoyed. But as a major Jurassic fan, I've basically loved almost all these movies. The last one wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be. In this one, there were some things about it that kind of annoyed me, but the stuff about dinosaurs, obviously, I really, really enjoyed. And I'd say overall, I had a good time with the movie, but wish there would have been a little bit more to it. And unfortunately, didn't love it as much as I wanted to.
Yeah, my initial thoughts, I was really excited for this, and it's pretty simple. I want to see dinosaurs fight. I want to see dinosaurs on screen, and I was pretty disappointed with this movie for multiple reasons. I won't get into the spoilers, but yeah, this does not compare to the other Jurassics. I really wanted most of the human characters to get eaten on screen. The most of this movie was pretty disappointed. I could not stand a lot of the characters on screen. There's some really cool dinosaur scenes. One in particular is one of the coolest in the entire series, but I was definitely disappointed.
So my positive was really just seeing that movie in a theater is important because when the T-Rex is walking, like the seats are shaking, the theater is rumbling. I just think there's another scene where you see so I just think seeing that movie in the theater was awesome, and I love seeing the dinosaurs. My bad thing was there was a character in the movie that just drove me crazy from like the very beginning. At least one that, I was hoping that this person was going to get eaten, but they did not.
Sadly.
All right, positives again. There was more positives than negatives. I enjoyed the movie. Thought it was good. Obviously going through the series, they try to remake things or redo them, and then you start remembering earlier characters compared to new characters. So it was fine. I thought the main lead, female main lead, Scarlett Johansson, I like her. She had a lot of good movies. Thought she did a good job in this one. So I enjoyed it. And Karen got popcorn and a big Diet Coke, and that even made it better.
Yeah, positives for me, like I said before, were definitely dinosaurs. I did want to say, too, I enjoyed this movie more than the last one, Dominion. But before that, though, they were all almost 10 out of 10s in my opinion. So that's where my point was there. But overall positives, though, all the stuff with dinosaurs I really enjoyed. The T-Rex scene in particular was done amazingly well. I love the sound effects. There's actually a sound effect that if you played the arcade game, you would have remembered from that game that I really appreciated. So that was done really well. I like the new mutated dinosaur or hybrid. I wish I would have liked to see more of him. That kind of gets into my negatives with him. I wanted to see way more of that character. I did like the setting. I like being on a new island with just that kind of jungle setting. I thought that's where the dinosaurs are at their best. And obviously the music's good. And I actually liked the story. I wish there would have been maybe a few more things added to it, but I did actually like the mission they were on. But then negatives, like we kind of mentioned, there's a family that's introduced in this movie that I really just could not stand any of them. I saw it twice, and the first time they were less annoying, but the second time, the things I was annoyed about annoyed me more the second time. But it was like that family. I wanted a few people to get taken out. The director needed to take more characters out, have more of a threatening situation from the movie sense. But yeah, overall, though, like I said, there were some good things I liked about it. Would have liked to have seen a few things changed. Would have liked to see a few more characters get taken out. That would have definitely helped the movie out, in my opinion.
Positives is the CGI and the initial cast with Scarlett Johansson, a few supporting characters were fine, and mainly the T-Rex scene. It was an epic scene. I love that scene. That was one of the best scenes in all the Jurassic series, in my opinion. The T-Rex looks great, and running through the creek was just phenomenal. And there's other cool dinosaurs. The main antagonist is cool, but it's barely in the movie. And that's one of my biggest negatives is that monster is in this movie for what, like 2 minutes of screen time?
5 minutes.
It is insane. He's not in enough. Not even close. And then the other negatives are I hated most of the characters in this movie. Wanted most of them to get eaten, especially this family that somehow survives for so much of this movie. I did not care about any of them. I wanted them to get eaten by every single dinosaur. And it really bothered me a lot. Those characters really bothered me. Let's go to final thoughts and score.
Final thoughts. Again, it was enjoyable. When I think about the whole thing, like the very first one was epic. So it's hard to ever reach that level of epic, and it didn't. But I enjoyed it. So I would say my score, I'm actually giving it a 6.5.
Whoa.
I enjoyed it.
Pretty low.
I had a Diet Coke and a big popcorn, which added to my
So that helped
score.
with the movie.
Yes.
Final thoughts again. I thought it was good, and I did enjoy the dinosaurs. I didn't get to say that before. Always liked the dinosaurs. Some of the mutated ones maybe gets a little too far, so hopefully they discontinue that. But the last one, the big mutated guy, big melon-headed, he looked like to me like an alien.
He was
Type
inspired off the
dinosaur.
xenomorph.
He's also inspired off the Star Wars one that was in that.
Oh,
Yeah,
he did
so-
look like with the big arm.
He was good. I'd like to see him more, but that's some of these movies do that. They wait till the last minute and then they don't show him enough. My score is between a 6 and a 7. I guess I'll go with a 7. It's the 4th of July,
7, wow.
and God bless America.
One quick point I wanted to add on. You mentioned it yesterday. There was that family scene. There's this point where like they're saved from a situation and they're immediately disrespectful to the
Yeah.
point where it's like, man, I wish they'd just take these people out. So, yeah, if you took that family out, if that first scene they would have gotten taken out by a certain mosasaur, this movie would have probably gone up by like 2 points in my opinion. But
better movie.
where I'm gonna be right now, unfortunately, this is like I'm gonna have to rescore my Dominion one because I like this one more than Dominion. But it's still above average. Like the special effects are top notch, and I did like the storyline, and overall I liked almost all the dinosaur stuff and the music. So I'm gonna end up at around a 7 out of 10 for this one, and maybe after another viewing I can maybe solidify that. But I'm definitely gonna go with a 7 out of 10 for now.
People are probably gonna be shocked by my score, but I was very disappointed with this movie. I had high expectations. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10. It's below average in my opinion. I wanted to see more one-on-one dinosaur fights. That's what I want to see in these movies. I didn't get that. I hated the characters. There's a great scene, but I still give this a 4 out of 10 because I just was very disappointed in this movie. And very disappointed. And I like all the other movies better. This is at the bottom of the list for me. But still had a great T-Rex scene.
Less than Dominion?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, there were no one-on-one fights in this movie.
Yeah.
There was not one single one. And, like, that's what I go to see these movies for.
I'll have to sit down and think about that one. Maybe I like this one.
Unless you count, like, the guy's
I'm not
briefcase fighting the dinosaur, then
sure. I mean, the villain was pretty funny.
he was funny. That basically wraps things up.
That was our non-spoiler review of Jurassic World Rebirth. Let us know in the comments what you thought about this movie and where this one sits in your rankings list of the 7 movies in this franchise. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.